careful. Anyway. All right. Good morning, everybody. Need more coffee. I got up way too late today. Stayed up too long on X. Should be an interesting day today. Should be a crazy day today. So we've got some economic data already. Even more coming here soon at 7:30. So I wanted to get on some of the stuff that's already out, at least in regard to the mortgage information. And then, of course, today we'll have a video a little bit before 1 o'clock for the Fed rate decision, and also, again, the interview or whatever. I can't. The words escape me. I'm sorry. I didn't get a lot of sleep. Jerome Powell speaking at 1:30 in regard to what the Fed rate decision means. I'm pretty sure it's going to be 50 bips. Let's just check the CME Fed Watch tool real quick here and see where we're at. Again, 65% it looks like. So about 2-to-1 odds that we're going to get that 50 bips. Let's look at mortgage-related data, and let me just check chat real quick here too and make sure I get into everything. Alexander, homework for today. Dustin P11, morning, Jesse. Thanks as always for putting us on these live streams. Maytag, good morning. BD, good morning. Kenny Brown, good morning. Lots of good mornings. John Mars, good morning, everyone. Good morning to all of you. Same to Alex Garcia. Let's look at our first data point here, the MBA 30-year mortgage rate. It's at 6.15%. I said before that rate is going to drop hard and that we're probably going to be seeing the fives really quick. Gosh, it looks like it's getting ready to happen right now. So I'd have to imagine that the next read here is going to be in the 5% range for mortgage rates, because that is a pretty steep drop. It's actually the steepest we've seen since September of 2022. So it's 2 years since we've seen mortgage rates get this low. Mortgage applications are up 14%. Pretty sure I called that. This is again, if you see some of these more recent impulses, they are going up. So this is a good sign for the mortgage industry, and that it should help as the mortgage market opens up. It should actually help lower prices across the board too, which is going to be positive for everybody. Let's see here. Sean says, how prices going up? Not sure what you mean. There's a lot of prices out there, so you'll have to be more specific than that. All right, so we got the mortgage market index at 266. Again, another beautiful number here. Highest number, let's see. Nope, beat that number. Highest number since August 19th of 2022. So again, going back several years here, about 25 months, the best number we've seen in the mortgage market index. Mortgage refi index, same kind of thing, probably going back a couple of years. Let's just look here. Yeah, more than 2 years. So maybe closer to 2.5 years in the mortgage market index. We're going to see more of that ahead, or the refi index. Mortgage purchase index. Let's see where we're sitting here. Again, these are still, if you look here, we're at the lowest levels since the 90s, since I was a teenager. So that was a long time ago. So again, you could expect this to go up a lot as the market starts to expand and open up. Oh, let's see here. What else we got? Alexander Hines says, good morning. Today's going to be a good day. I hope so. Sean says, so you're talking about home prices. Home prices go up when you have a shortage of homes. If you look all around the country, especially Springfield, actually, Ohio is a great example. If you ignore the cat and dog story, when you bring in a bunch of illegal immigrants, or I'm sorry, legal in this case, because we designated them as such, you flood them into a particular city or region, you make it unaffordable for other people to live there, and you raise prices. We've been doing that across the entire nation at a time where builders haven't really been building before anyway. I mean, building at reduced rates, I should say, for new homes. And so you're going to create housing shortages, and you're going to make it to where prices go up, especially when you already have inflation of assets. So a lot of stuff's been happening to make home prices completely unaffordable. That would get better if we start deporting, especially dangerous illegal immigrants that like to murder people and rob people, or like I showed in a video yesterday, um, hit old women in the back of the head while they're walking their dog in New York City. If you get rid of those people, you will help with housing affordability. It will get better, but right now it's not. So that's what we're looking at. Real quickly, so and you can tell what my mood's like today. Bitcoin 59,770. So we were up about 60,000, almost 61,000, I think, last night. We've retraced since. I think the markets are going to be very sideways to down this morning before the Fed rate decision, because yesterday people got a little excited. Then they cut back. Then it landed all right. And today I think is going to be the, oh crap, is it really going to happen? What's going on with the Fed? And I think that's going to be interesting, and we'll probably see down to sideways, I'm guessing, till about 1 p.m. And then we'll see what happens with the Fed rate decision. And then the market will probably have an immediate impulse, and then it will chop for a little bit while it tries to figure out the next direction. So it's gonna be a wild ride today, guys. I can't tell you how monumental today is in regard to a lot of things in the markets. So we'll see what happens. Let's look here. So the dollar down slightly, looking like it's going to roll over. Let's take a look at that. We're going to roll through some of the basics here. We're going to look at what pre-market looks like while we're waiting here for the 7:30 data coming out in 10 minutes. So if I look at the stock heat map and then I point this bugger to pre-market, again, you can see that just kind of meandering, nothing really too crazy. Google's up 0.71%. Other than that, a lot of things are down to sideways. Tesla's up 0.36%, whatever this is. CRM, Salesforce, is up just a little bit too, almost 1%, but not a lot to report on. Let's look at crypto. Crypto, again, retracing from yesterday where it was doing all right for a while. And it's just kind of chopping. It's around that 60. I would just say it's at the 60,000 base. That's really what it is. It's dipping a little bit beneath that. It's going above it, but that's really what it is. Let's skip the S&P and all this other stuff. Let's go to the dollar and look at it rolling over. So this would be good. Hopefully this continues. If we can see it breaking underneath the 200 weekly moving average today, that'll be a positive sign. One has to remember, though, we do have the RSI with it already had a recent low here. So technically we've got some divergence on a smaller time frame fighting against this downward move. We do want the dollar to go down, though. That would be beneficial for the markets. Let's see what gold's doing. Is it going up today? It is. It's up 0.31%. That's not too totally shocking to see gold up just on fears of what might be coming. If we look at oil's down almost 0.7%. Again, just kind of chop. Today is going to be the big decider of what happens next. Let me see here. Somebody said, Alex Garcia, want to buy a house soon, spring of 2025, probably a good time. I would think so. There's a lot of things that can happen politically between now and then. But I would guess that that's probably the better time, because I think if nothing else, we're going to be dropping rates a lot. All right, move index. Move index, bond volatility index, ticked up a little bit after finding support here on its long-term trend. So we'll see. Again, this is going to break one way or the other. I'm going to be saying that a lot this morning. Today's move is a big deal. And hopefully we don't get any fake outs, but it's a big deal. 2-year bond, it looks like we're seeing the yield on that go up just a little bit more this morning. So it looks like people are probably selling some of those. Let's look at the inversion here. The inversion is uninverted and ticking higher. So we're coming out of it. We'll see what happens with that. Let's look at, we saw the dollar getting a little bit weaker. Let's look at the yen. The yen down, the dollar to the yen is down 0.37%. So that's good. We want to stay very far away from that Japanese carry trade unwinding. Let's look at the yuan. The yuan is about flat. Nothing. Let's put call ratio. What's going on here? Very low ratio for puts versus calls. Very low ratio, like historically low. So you would almost expect it to try and bounce here, unless we're seeing a time frame like June of 2020 to April of 2022, where it was pretty calm and peaceful and the markets were going up a lot. We're kind of at those levels right now. So very, very, very interesting stuff going on there. Sean says Massachusetts as well. Yep. Cody, good morning, Jesse. Marty Cohen, good morning. Manny, good afternoon, everyone. Manny, where are you at? Where it's good afternoon? You in Europe somewhere? All right, let's keep rocking and rolling. So, I guess we kind of already looked at Bitcoin. Let me hop back over here. On the news-related front, at least politically, just a lot of crazy stuff, guys. I try not to get too political in these streams in regard to the stock market, but some of the stuff I saw yesterday is just disturbing. We have Gavin Newsom passing laws that will make it to where it's illegal to post parodies about politics via X, and he used X as an example. He had a post from Elon Musk. So now you can get arrested in California if you're posting memes that the governor does not like. So it looks like we're kind of turning into the UK right now, which is shocking and frightening. Not really something I want to see at all. Very disturbing, in my opinion. I hope people understand why. Let's look at the Fear and Greed Index with the stock market. It says we're drifting into greed. Personally, I don't feel like we gotten that greedy, but whatever. We're at a 56 right now. And let's go ahead and refresh over here on the crypto side. It looks like we've got 45 for the Fear and Greed with crypto. Again, I don't feel we were just in the 30 range yesterday. So it's weird. I feel like that we've already jumped up to that. Let's look at layoffs as well. And then we got about 3 minutes, guys, and then we'll be looking at more economic data coming out. It looks like, let's see here, we did have one from Runtastic in Linz, and I don't even know what that is. So this is probably in a foreign country. Really, the biggest layoff that we had, tech layoff, was Seattle, but with Microsoft, and that was on 9/12. So we haven't seen anything crazy going on there. 1 second here. I'm just going to jump over to X as well. And again, just a couple of minutes left. I got to refresh my screen here and get my bookmarks back. So I did want to talk about Bitcoin. There was a report that BlackRock had posted, which looks pretty enticing. It's just talks about Bitcoin and how what a great asset it is for virtually everything, especially world chaos, monetary expansion, just governments that are out of control. You can see each bullet point in here. It says why Bitcoin matters, what makes Bitcoin relevant. It's very visual. It's really good. It says prone to inflation and debasement given a non. So it's talking about persistent historical challenges around money. 1, prone to inflation and debasement. Given a non-fixed supply. I mean, these are literally all the comments I've been making for years and just every Bitcoin advocate. 2, difficult to transact across borders. Again, we're talking about regular money. 3, access limited to one particular country controlled by a central authority, the government. Said what Bitcoin made possible, fixed maximum supply of 21 million units with supply growth declining every 4 years, digitally native and borderless, permitting near instantaneous global transfers of value, first truly open, accessible global monetary supply. They're talking about this being the new money. Talks about, let's see, accelerating U.S. debt growth. It's just showing, again, the United States, one of the better economies out there right now. We only have 130% debt to GDP, probably a little bit higher than that now. But they're using us as a reference to the fact of just deficits growing at outrageous and ever expanding ways and where they're projected to go. Just horrific numbers. So again, if you don't own Bitcoin, guys, definitely you need to. And check out the full report. There's a link in this. I just reposted this morning. And again, you have Robert F. Kennedy too. He said, Bitcoin is not only on off-ramp to its inflationary highway, but it's also restoring integrity to our government and personal freedoms, or it can. Let's listen to that real quick, too.
Bitcoin is not only an off-ramp to this inflationary highway, which is the highway to hell, but it also is a way of restoring integrity to our government. It's a way of restoring personal freedoms. It's a way of the middle class can insulate itself from inflation, which is just a form of government theft. Bitcoin is not only an off-ramp to this inflationary highway, which is the highway to hell, but it also is a way of restoring integrity to our government. It's a way of restoring personal freedoms. It's a way of the middle class can insulate itself from inflation, which is just a form of government theft.
He's 100% right, guys. If you don't own Bitcoin right now or don't understand the value, I've got a feeling in the next couple of years you're going to understand the value, and hopefully you're on the right side of the fence. Scotland, sunny every day. Awesome. That's kind of where I'm from, man. Or at least my ancestors. AB says last time the Bank of Japan used the interest rate event as a liquidity to buy the yen, and this exacerbated the risk off move. I wonder if this. No, I don't think that's going to happen. You got to realize the Bank of Japan wants to work with the U.S. government to keep things stable. They don't want their stock market unwinding. They've got massive amounts of debt. They don't. Yeah, trust me. They want a stable monetary environment and investment environment too. So they're gonna try and play as nice as they can. And again, we opened up liquidity swap lines with Japan. That's probably the thing I'm least worried about right now. Brian, morning, all Florida here. Chicken Bro says no matter how much they cut, crypto should go up. Not sure about the overall market though. Yeah, no, the market will go up too for a while. It has to. It has to. When you start cutting rates like crazy and you've got global liquidity expanded because your debts are out of control, the money supply is going to expand. There's no way that it doesn't, right? The money supply will expand. Bitcoin will definitely do well. Whether all the other shit coins do well is subject to debate. But good companies, good real estate locations, and Bitcoin, these things are going to do well in an environment where you have monetary expansion. Now they'll do well until they don't, right? You'll have most likely a blow off top, and then everything starts to fall apart and crash. But you got to have the blow off though for that to happen. You got to have that monetary expansion be absorbed by a bunch of assets before it all drops. John Mars, Jesse, just curious, what state, city? I don't talk about that. I already had some creepy asshole harass my wife on Facebook when I used to use my full name on here, saying that I was a scammer and I was scamming people on X on a weekend on a Friday. All of a sudden, some fucking dude I don't know is texting my wife and asking if she'll take a phone call from him. The guy apologized later on when my wife is like, "You're fucking retarded." I mean, she doesn't say that. She's got way less of a potty mouth than I do. But yeah, I don't give out my personal information. There's a reason why James from Invest Answers doesn't do that. Tom Nash, his name isn't Tom Nash. So again, people like when you're in front of a bunch of people, you gotta refrain from such things. So I don't do that. Chris, somewhere cold Midwest, sure. Kamawa, hey Jesse, please review Crex if possible. Yeah, we can look at something like that. Oh, let's check real quick. Our economic data just came in for this next round here. Let's look at building permits and housing starts. So building permits again up, good. We'll dive into that. Housing starts up, good. We'll dive into that. So we're starting to see that expansion I've been talking about with rates coming down and how quickly it will happen quickly, guys. The housing market will open up as long as the economy isn't collapsing. It will open up. And it's good to see people working on their homes and see a number that's better than expected. Again, we forecast 1.39 million roughly, and the consensus was about the same, and we got 1.4. So it's a little bit better than expected. Not a huge number. Housing starts. Housing starts. Let's just scroll down here. We're 1.238 million, and actually consensus. Oh wait, that's the wrong number. Sometimes they don't update the bottom, so let me go back over here. So it says housing starts were 1.356 million versus 1.28 forecast and 1.31 consensus. So this is actually a little bit better than the building permits. We like to see that. We need a lot more housing. Desperately need more housing. You could see how much housing was built historically in the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s and 2000s before that big ramp where we went up a lot until 2008 and had that, well, really 2007 or 6. Yeah, 2006, that's when things started to roll over for building homes. But that was a great indicator that things were getting ready to collapse. But we have not really even come back to the historical mean ever since. Outside of a brief period in 2021, late 2022, we just haven't been building enough homes. And then we've been importing, tens of millions of immigrants. And so housing affordability is just a fucking joke right now. And we need to fix this. So we need more housing starts. Chicken Bro, I met a colleague today who mined 20 Bitcoin back in the day, but lost his wallet and didn't even know the price of Bitcoin today. He will be shocked. Yeah, that's sad. Manny247, Jesse, if or when Elon takes X public, do you think he'll copy Dr. Karp? Maybe give members first options. I don't know if he'll. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I'm just hoping that X is around in a year. um, I haven't even been thinking about whether or not it's public. I mean, when we have Gavin Newsom literally on X using an example of what Elon Musk posted and then saying it's illegal, I think they're just setting up to arrest Elon Musk. And then we had Hillary Clinton also basically saying that we should be looking at putting people in jail for misinformation online. We're very much going the way of the UK. Also, what they've been trying to push in Australia, what they're trying to push across most of the West and Europe, what they've done recently in Brazil. There's a concerted effort to limit speech, to take guns away from any place that has them, and to take control of the messaging. And it's frightening. So I haven't thought about X going public. I don't even know if it'll be around in the future. If you guys don't vote for Donald Trump, I don't think X will be around in the future, and this will all just go away. That's my take. Aren't I optimistic today? I'm gonna up my mic a little bit. Seems a little low, so I'm gonna try and crank it up. There we go. I think that's a little better. Hopefully. Let me know how my mic's doing, guys. I might just crank it up a little bit more. Maybe I don't want to be eating the thing. So let me just do this. I'm just gonna crank it to a 0.6 maybe. There we go. Let's try this. All right. Just saying some stuff, testing my mic. Okay, good. I think that's it. All right, I wanted to show here too. You can tell what kind of a mood I'm in today. Isn't it fun? Um, Cantonese Cat, my buddy, posted Bitcoin's monthly chart in relation to global money supply breakout. And you could see how where from 2018 to 20, the monetary expansion was not great. And then you can see what happened when the global money supply did expand. And we are looking at that right now. And you can see the price of Bitcoin afterwards. And then again, we got neutered at the top here because of the fastest rate of expansion in the history of the Fed, or I should say the fastest rate of increases in the history of the Fed. I think it would have went higher than this. But again, we're breaking out with global liquidity right now of a multi-year downtrend. And if you look at Bitcoin, it's screaming that it wants to go higher. So again, when you got Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, telling you how needed Bitcoin is going to be in the near future, guys. And then you see monetary expansion everywhere. And you've got every presidential candidate talking about printing tons of money. You're going to see everything go up. There's just no way around it. Jake also put Bitcoin bull flag continues to form on the monthly candle chart. 1.618 extensions is at 102,000. So my target's 92 because I'm more conservative. But he's right. It could go there too if it does its full measured move. So again, just a lot of people telling you that we're going to be skyrocketing in the near future. I hope you're listening. Let me jump back out of that. And then, in more depressing shit about what's going on in the world, in the United States, I want to talk to, again, this is the Elon Musk section under Tesla here, so we're going to talk to some of it because I'm very disappointed in the way the world's going right now in the United States, California, and just a bunch of stuff. So we're going to talk about it. Elon Musk is too, or he wouldn't be up in the middle of the night talking about it. So he says here, those granted asylum become citizens within 5 years. Which is just over one presidential cycle, and then vote overwhelmingly Democrat. This is why so many are being placed in large numbers in Arizona, Wisconsin, Ohio, and other swing states to create permanent one-party rule of the Democratic Party. And that's true. We have, you got to read this. You got to understand this, guys. Got to understand this stuff. Per newly released CBP data, nearly 530,000 migrants have flown into the U.S. and have been paroled into the country as part of the Biden administration's controversial CHNV mass parole program. Additionally, 813,000 migrants have been scheduled appointments via the CBP, one app at ports of entry to be released into the United States. That's 1.35 million people right there. These are lawful pathways quote unquote, created by the Biden administration through executive action. And these numbers don't count in Border Patrol data as they're not illegal crossings. So these people are automatically going to be granted asylum in 5 years. And they're doing this, they're loading them up in swing states so that the Democrats always win again. And they will. They will. This could be the last real election we have in the United States of America. You can read the rest in here. It essentially is that. And it's crazy. It's crazy to me. And people don't seem to give a shit. And then another thing here, so somebody's bumper sticker, I bought it before we knew how awful Elon Musk is. And in case you didn't know, Elon Musk right now with Neuralink has created their second product called Blindsight, and it will allow people the ability to see again. But again, I'm sure it will be made into something horrible because it's Elon Musk. Elon Musk says here, 7 hours ago, that would have been at midnight, they're actually trying to make posting memes illegal. Vote them out. So again, and we know this because of what's happening with Gavin Newsom right now. If you look here, Doge Designer said the governor of California signed a bill that could make posting memes and parody illegal. This goes against the Constitution and the First Amendment. What's happening in California will happen all across America if Kamala Harris wins. Again, I don't like getting political, guys, but I really don't give a shit about money if I can't say what I want to say anymore and I don't have freedom of speech. And people told me not to worry about it when it was the UK, but it's here now. It's literally here in this country. And again, Elon Musk joking a little bit before about how this is going to happen. This is happening in the UK. They actually do this. They're arresting people, children in some cases, and putting them in detention centers for posting memes that people didn't like. Omar's catalog, Omar says, Democrats are now making up new laws to try and make Elon's tweets illegal. So again, this is Gavin Newsom's tweet, guys. It says, manipulating a voice in an ad like this one should be illegal. I'll be signing a bill in a matter of weeks to make sure it happened. He did that yesterday. It says, and this says, Elon Musk retweets altered Kamala Harris campaign ad. It was a joke. It was a joke, and now it's illegal, and you can be arrested in the state of Florida. I don't know. Anyway, let's get to happier stuff with Tesla. Good morning, Jesse. And F the Democrats. Yeah, Demobrats. I don't know if that was a typo, but I like it. Let's go up here and look some more. Chicken Bro said, I met a... Oh, yeah, we already said that one. Manny247. Benedict Herwig says Mike is good. Oak says we're going down a bad path. We're going down a really bad path. I don't know if it'll get better, man. John Nigerian says sounds good on X. Eric Hebert says first time I'm watching on X. Can't rewind and listen at 1.5x here. Not yet. You can actually. It's weird. You got to hold the button down on the screen if you're on I don't know why I just thumbed up. If you're on X and you're on mobile, you got to hold the thing down and then you can move it. And you should also in the settings be able to change it to 1.5. They go as crazy as like 3x or 4x or something. It's nuts. But you should be able to do those things. Jordan Carter says, keeps speaking up. It's takes courage. Happy rate cut day, everyone. Buckle up. Yeah, man. I feel like I have to. If anybody with a mic and a voice, even if you don't, you got to do something. You got to let people know that freedom is under attack. I played that video yesterday in the election stuff where this guy was talking about, he was a black man, and he was showing Kamala's statements about not going back and looking forward. And it's literally a part of the Communist Party of the United States agenda on their pages. And something they've been saying for 10 years. And it just happens that Kamala Harris, the person who had a Marxist, communist economic, professor dad at Stanford, is saying the exact same thing. And people don't make these connections. The Communist Party is trying to take over the United States of America. They're trying to do it through illegal immigration and making it to where they can never lose votes again. And then they want to make it a communist state where she does tax the rich and take everything they have and make all the billionaires go away. This is the plan, guys. This is the World Economic Forum plan. It's the you will own nothing and you will be happy. This is it. This is what's happening right now. This is our opportunity to prevent that from happening. And I don't care how many fucking followers I lose by saying that because it's the truth. And if we don't stand up now and do something about it, we're fucked. We're all fucked. My I don't want my child to grow up in a communist dictatorship. So please to God, fucking make your voices heard. Share the links on X. Tell people they need to find the truth on X so that we can save our country and the world. I don't say that. That's not hyperbole here. All right, back to some good stuff, hopefully. Oh, I'm just so disgusted right now. That's why I got very little sleep. It wasn't even about the Fed rate cut or any of that bullshit. It's about literally the destruction of our country. But anyway, on a brighter note, I want to show you something here. This construction worker, you've probably seen it 100 times while I'm talking. Or I'm sorry, the semi driver. He fell out of his pickup cab, almost got fucking killed, and Tesla FSD saved his life. So that's a good thing. That's a real good thing. Limiting Factor says they wouldn't arrest Elon. Less than a day later, the governor of California signs a bill banning a certain type of speech and posts an image of Elon Musk. Public enemy number one has been identified. Look at this. So manipulating a voice in an ad like this one should be illegal is what Gavin Newsom. He literally took his previous one saying that this should be illegal. Here's Elon Musk, and then he did it. So it's a good thing Elon doesn't live in California anymore, or he would already be able to arrest him. This is what we're facing. This is it. Ugh. Somebody asking about Tesla calls, yada, yada, whatever. Elon literally 18 hours ago, the fate of America may depend on this vote. I strongly believe it does. You got to remember, these are the same people that don't acknowledge anything that Elon Musk has done as good and have painted him as evil. And even when he paid the largest tax bill in history, I think it was $12 billion, they still said he wasn't paying enough. He paid the largest tax bill of any human being in history in the United States, and it wasn't enough. They want him. They want him. Speaker Mike Johnson said, Johnson just came on CNBC today and basically said that the Democrats are the party of communism and that China, Iran, and Russia and the axis of evil are working to take over the United States of America. It's just it's getting crazy, guys. Anyway, this says Congress has an immediate obligation to do two things: responsibility, fund the government, and ensure the security of our elections. Because we owe this to our constituents, we will move forward on Wednesday with a vote on the 6-month CR with the SAVE Act attached. So again, the government's shutting down, guys. October 1st, it's shutting down. I urge all of my colleagues to do what the overwhelming majority of the people of this country rightfully demand and deserve: prevent non-American citizens from voting in the elections. So it's going to get crazy. It's going to get crazy. Oh, hey, here's the Polaris crew. Home safe, record-breaking stuff. Not one mention from the Biden administration or Kamala Harris. Here's the 90th SpaceX launch of the year. Not one mention from Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Whole Mars catalog says, expect more fines and delays for SpaceX if Biden and Harris administration is reelected. If you own Bitcoin, if you own investments, if you own any Tesla, and you vote for Kamala Harris, you are a fucking moron. You are the dumbest piece of shit on this planet. And I say that with love and affection. All right, the Pleb Reporter said the cost to provide every single Canadian with high-speed internet is $2.14 billion, is what they're looking at right now. And Elon Musk, again, could do it for $1 billion. But they don't want Elon Musk, and they mocked him on X because they don't want something that will actually help. They don't want an Elon Musk solution that is easily accessible. They'd rather spend double the money because that's what federal government does. They don't like him, and so they'd rather spend twice as much money. Amazing. Anyway, I will get in a better mood eventually. Once about 1 o'clock, I'll be in a better mood, hopefully with the Fed rate decision, and then we'll talk again about we'll let Jerome speak and we'll see what's happening. But again, I'm worried, guys. I don't want to talk about this shit. I don't want to. I don't even like politics. I haven't talked about politics in years. Years. And I voted for Joe Biden last time. I voted for Joe Biden, but I fear for the future of humanity. So I beg you all, please go out and vote. Please go out and vote for the right person. Don't let our society be destroyed. Don't let your investments be destroyed. Don't explain to your children why they're in a bread line years from now, and say, yeah, I'm sorry, I voted for the wrong person. Don't do that. Don't take that risk. Donald Trump is not evil. Robert F. Kennedy is not evil. Elon Musk is not evil. None of these people are evil. Tulsi Gabbard was a Democrat too, guys. They all ran for the Democratic Party, and and now they're evil. Now they're the bad guys. Why would they do this? Why would they go to Trump? I don't know. Maybe it's because you've turned into a communist dictatorship that they're running away and trying to go to Trump. I don't know. Just a guess. Just throwing it out there. All right, let me get back to it. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I don't want to be this way. I really don't. Manny says, hopefully X will always be around or we're screwed. It probably won't. If Kamala gets elected, I mean, California's already made it illegal for the stuff on X to be posted with parodies about politics. You can't even post something about him or you can get arrested. What do you think that looks like a few years from now as liberals post more of these rules across the United States of America and work to literally, I mean, they're going to try it. Even Elon Musk said, yeah, they're going to try and arrest me. If Kamala's elected, I'll probably get arrested. Elon said that. Mark said, it's so glad to see you speak the truth, Jesse. Somebody's got to. Alexander, 100% agree. Manny247, fight for your kids. Mark LeBlanc, I still get banned on X frequently. I speak the truth. I never do. I post all kinds of crazy shit. Just make sure you're not, Mark, make sure that you're not. And here's the thing, you're still here, right? You're still a ban. A ban is like what they did to the doctors that were talking about COVID and said the wrong things. And they were like Harvard alum that specialized in these fields. And then they were gone for years. If you're still here, that's not really a ban, man. And if you do things like you post gore, I've been shut down on this platform because I posted things that showed people blown up or showed the brutality of what happened to the people in Israel, a while ago. And I got temporarily banned, but I just clicked a few buttons and did a couple of things, and within 24 hours I was back. So I'm sorry. Like, do whatever gets you banned on X. Do those same things on Facebook. Let me know how it goes for you. Do it on YouTube. Do this stuff. I get demonetized for everything. I got struck too for talking about for showing something that Robert F. Kennedy was saying, shitting on the pharmaceutical industry. I got my first strike. I get another one. You guys won't see me for a while. So do that stuff on these other platforms and see what it looks like, man. It's way worse. Alexander, Mark LeBlanc, are you in Shanada like me? Mark LeBlanc, the land of maple syrup and censorship. Yeah, well, you're fucked there. Canada's already real close to what I fear the United States will turn into. Actually, the United States seems like it's getting even worse. That's even more frightening. Alexander, at least we still have paper ballot for election. There is hope. Is there, though? Is there? I mean, so I look at election details all the time, guys, and I post this stuff on the other ones. Arizona accidentally marked 97,000 eligible registered vote, like people that were registering to vote, as verifying their proof of citizenship when they didn't. That was an accident. Pennsylvania, look over here. It says, breaking, just last week, over 53,000 people registered to vote without IDs in Pennsylvania. 2024 totals are over 1.6 million. Read that twice. 1.6 million people registering without ID in Pennsylvania. So, are we safe? Are we really? I don't think so. I don't think we are. I know the voice of the people. I could see it. I could see that it's Trump. I could see it across all the polls that are real. Atlas Intel is a good representation of that. Awful, whatever. I don't know how I'm supposed to pronounce it. That one too is another one representing that. And but the thing is, if you funnel in a bunch of bullshit voters and you don't do anything to verify their ability to vote, and you put these people in swing states, and you do this deliberately so that you can steal the vote, and this is probably the last one, or at least close to the last one. The next one is probably really our last ability, because like Elon Musk said, after that they'll basically be citizens, and so you'll have imported tens of millions of people that can vote Democrat because those are the people that let them come into the country and they don't want to be deported. So this is our last election, in my opinion. I don't think we have another one, not a real one. We're a banana republic after this one, guys. We might be in banana republic right now. Dougie Fresh, how the hell could you vote for Joe Biden before? Because I listened to mainstream media that was 95% biased towards Trump and 95% positive towards him. Doesn't that seem like a pretty legitimate reason to do that? When that's all you hear? That's all like half the fucking country hears? That's how. Cody, I live in Cali and it's absolute shit. Yes, it is. It's getting worse too. New York City isn't much better. Again, I showed a video yesterday talking about election stuff, showing a like 70 something year old grandma walking her puppy, and a Hispanic dude right near a mission walked by her, looked at her with disdain, then came back later and just cold cocked her in the back of the head so that they knocked her out, and then just walked off like it was nothing, because that's what we do now, guys. That's how shit works in the United States. That's the country we live in. Anyway, enough about that. Let's go back and see how other things are doing today. Let's see if I have any posts about U.S. economy in here. So Microsoft running out of its own money to keep the Ponzi scheme running, or is it simply trying to channel it through a third-party investment scheme? So this person's very pessimistic. But Microsoft and BlackRock form a group to raise $100 billion to invest in AI data centers and power. Here's what I think. I think that this kind of stuff does not happen in an economy that's getting ready to roll into a recession. And this is a lot of investment dollars that we're looking at. This is big money stuff, guys. This is like, it's not Inflation Reduction Act stuff. Inflation reduction, that's funny. But it's pretty bad. Or I should say it's pretty large amounts. And so this again, this just isn't stuff that happens right before the markets are getting ready to collapse. And again, this is just me saying that, yeah, I think I posted that one yesterday, just that we're probably going to see a government shutdown, and you need to equate that into your thesis. On top of the Fed rate decision today, a couple weeks from now, we're going to shut the government down, about a week and a half. Make sure you think about that. And then also the election. So a lot of crazy shit, guys. It's going to be really hard to efficiently gauge where markets are going, even with global liquidity increasing, because there's going to be a lot of fear. There's going to be people like me that are just worried about the future of this country. Let's see here. On X, I missed a few. If I told woke people to find the truth on X, they would look at me like I was crazy. Fine. Who gives a shit? Fuck them. Still do it. Freedom Fighter. My trans coworker told me that the election cycle is very important for getting transgender rights. Whatever. Don't they already have rights? Can't they literally just like run up to you and do whatever, and maybe even assault you, and if you say anything to them and use your words against them, that they can put you in jail? I feel like they have rights. He or she is also moving out of Missouri to Illinois to get the government in Illinois to cover surgeries and all the medical costs. Good. They can stay there. Move to Chicago. Stay there. Enjoy that place. It's a shithole. Yeah, guys, I will go ahead and look at some tickers here too. Let's see what other economic data we might have coming out this morning. It looks like we don't really have anything else until 9:30, and it's not much of anything. So I'm gonna scroll through a couple of other tickers real quick and just see if anything's really moving in pre-market. And if it's not, we'll go ahead and go through your guys' requests. So start throwing them out there if you would, and we'll start rolling through them. I'm gonna switch real quickly here to the miners one. I just want to look and see. Oh, I guess I can't see pre-market in here. I hate that. I wish they would really fix this. Maybe there's a drop down. No, that's a bummer. They should really do that. That would make this so much easier. I'll just jump into Bitcoin again. So Bitcoin, let's see, any better, any lower? We got about half an hour till market opens. And it looks like Bitcoin is about at 60K again. So again, just kind of trudging along. Nothing too crazy. Let's see what MicroStrategy's at. Down 1%. Again, proxies probably make sense that they're down this morning, and that just core Bitcoin is the only thing kind of doing okay. Mara down 0.82%. Again, I think that's legit. this is the stuff that will take off once people really feel good about the markets. I don't know, man. Maybe that's several weeks from now. It's just really hard to know. There's so much going on. We need to, hopefully, the SAVE Act saves America. Clean Spark down 0.77. Cypher, flat. No real trading volume on this one. Let's look at Bitfarms. And then we'll look at the other stocks in my list, and then we'll do your guys's. So throw them out there for sure. ArcG will definitely be one that I pop up right away. That's my baby, or one of them. Bitfarms. Yeah, and I'm sorry for being so depressing today, guys. I just like, after seeing that Gavin Newsom was basically doing the same thing Keir Starmer is doing in the UK and making words illegal on social media, memes illegal. You can't make a fucking parody. It's really set me in a bad mood that I'm trying to get out of. Bitfarm still down 47%, down 0.5% in pre-market. Not too crazy, kind of expected. Let's jump over to Tesla. Alex Garcia, I saw Kamala Harris ad on TV the other day saying she'll reduce your taxes compared to Trump, who will raise them. It's actually concerning how they lie. They don't care anymore, and I don't know. I do think the vast majority of people will vote Trump into power. The question is, will he win if they've got millions of not just illegal votes, but fraudulent votes on the roster in swing states? Will he win? Even if the truth is people want democracy, capitalism, and Trump, will he win? I don't know anymore. Tesla, up 0.68%. We like to see that, pushing the 230 mark, really trying to break higher. I think if rates go down today, regardless of the narrative, I would think that Tesla would jump pretty good, honestly. That's what I'm expecting. Let me get my mic closer here because I did lower some of this. Manny247, I'm planning to visit Vancouver next year, meet family. Last time was 1986, been too long. Christopher Capuno, morning, brother. Any chance you looked into depth into department in Lightspeed, LSPD yet? Looks like a good call option, possibly. Yeah, we'll look at that. Let me just get through the rest of mine here, and then we'll take a glance. If you guys have any other news events happening this morning, too, that we should know about, I didn't see anything too crazy. Again, outside of political garbage. PayPal, a little bit flat on the morning, but again, getting closer to that breakout zone. Hood, up 0.31%, just a juggernaut. And Amit did post something. I don't know if I've got the tweet for it, but he did post something that looks like maybe Hood is like getting their name on a stadium or something for recognition, like a similar move as to what SoFi did, because the images they were releasing looks like a team. I don't remember if it's I don't remember who it was. I don't really follow sports, but I do think he's right. I think that's probably what's happening, but we'll see what happens here. But that could be the thing for them on 10/16 or whatever the date is for them. I don't remember off the top of my head. SoFi. Down 0.25% in pre-market, but again, looking solid. This thing wants to break out higher. We'll see if it will. Oh, and something moved. I got to readjust this. Let me push this up. I probably should lock this down because I think we're still above the .618. Oh, nope, that's actually a little bit higher. I don't know. I'll have to readjust this later. I'll get it done by the next stream. But again, down 0.25 after being up 0.75 yesterday. Let me save that real quick. All right. Square, let's see how you're doing this morning. Down 0.34, nothing crazy. Palantir is down 1.4%. Again, I think this one, if there's anything that's going to take a hit, it's going to be the thing that's still up over 530%. ArcG, flat. Very little trading volume on this one nowadays, too, guys. When I said it before, I meant it. This stock is really just, this investment is just floundering, just waiting for any kind of momentum and volume. Let's look at Flux, one of my small cap plays. It looks like it has no trading volume. That's pretty normal for this one, too. I'll look at DLO real quick, too. Might look exactly the same. And I probably won't make any headway on the Discord today. Just with everything going on with the Fed rate decisions, I don't see me making any progress. Nothing on this one, too. Not too surprising. All right, let's get to your guys'. I might have missed a few here, but I'm going to try and stay very current in chat. Let me see. Freedom says, my question is why she didn't lie better right off the bat. Imagine she actually ran a good campaign, and after she got elected into office, she kickstarts her communist ideas. The problem is her communist ideas have been ideas for the last 15, 20 years. So it makes it really hard when you've got communications that go back, a long time that talk about how you believe in communism and you believe it's a better approach for society. Um, some of the slogans and things, though, I hear you on. I don't know why they would use communist slogans. It's really weird. It's almost like they don't care, like they think they have enough power where it doesn't matter, and that's frightening. Freedom fighter, she actually might have won that way. Pretend to be for the people and then flip once you get into office. She might still win. I don't actually know that it's possible for her to lose. Oak, Jesse, how far do you see companies like Good and Palantir pulling back in 20 to 30% pullback? Oh, I don't know. I don't know, man. We got a lot to think about just in regard to what can happen with that. I don't think that's coming anytime soon because, again, the money printer is going to go burr. The only way that that really happens is if we all of a sudden are, yeah, Hood, that makes more sense. Is that we all of a sudden are really in a communist dictatorship and you see like Elon Musk get arrested. If that happens, I think everybody starts fleeing the country, and I don't think it'll be a matter of trying to figure out how far the pullback is to be able to buy. You should figure out how to leave. So I don't think. So I'm not worried about that right now because if it does happen, it's a get the fuck out moment. It's not a buy the dip moment, and I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's probable. Again, I don't think she'll have control over the Senate. I hope not, or we're all fucked. Please review DPRO. I'm going to do that. We're going to start looking through stocks. I think I want to stop talking about politics, man. It's just too depressing right now for me. So let's just go ahead and move through stock picks. DPRO. Save this one. But yeah, if Elon Musk gets locked up, you just need to find a different place to live. You need to get the fuck out. That's pretty much the gist of it. That'll be my plan. Might be something I'm working towards even before that. I don't know. DP. All right, so this is Dragonfly Incorporated. It's up 3%. It's an 8.65 million cap. Very small company. Let's see if it's actually even on here as a ticker. Is this another space company or what is this? Probably not. They got revenue. Let's see. Aerospace and defense. Okay. Got dangerously low cash levels. Massive share dilution. Massive share dilution. So stockholders are losing. They're treating it like it's a Bitcoin miner. At least a Bitcoin miner can double really quickly in value. So that's what makes them special. But revenue's flat. They have negative cash flow. 1.2 million in revenue and then 5 million in losses. So this is just like a failing company. Evidently, their revenue is going to get better, but their EPS is going to have greater losses. I wouldn't own anything like this. Space is really hard. I wouldn't own this. Short interest is 42%. That's the only reason this thing's up. I wouldn't touch stuff like this, honestly. All right, what was the other one? CVS, drugstores. All right, let's see here. I think I still have them. I think they're kind of like, let's see here. Got to see what their finances look like as of late. So again, CVS, this could be a double top. It is under the 200 moving average. It could be a rollover moment. It has dropped from more than 50% to the bottom. It could drop like into the 40s or even down. Right, almost to the 30s before finding a strong base, all the way down to 30 before finding a strong base. What do the financials look like? I don't know. Companies like this, I don't know why you'd be interested in a CVS right now when there's Bitcoin and Tesla opportunities that are just imminently asymmetric. This is only 3% revenue growth year over year. It's got a forward PE of 7, but when you have no growth, that's kind of like single digits isn't crazy at that point. They are buying back shares. They've got positive cash flow. Their operating expenses are ticking up, not by a crazy amount. But if the economy goes to shit, I don't know how well CVS is going to do. Let's look historically here at CVS in the 2008 crisis here. They went from $44 down to 23, so I guess you only lose half your money. Not really a good hedge either. In the dot-com bubble, they went from 32 to 11, so they lost two-thirds of their value. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just don't think that this is something that is really recessionary proof. And I mean, what is there? There's probably a dividend, right? Yeah, dividend. I don't know that now is the time for dividend investing. It's not my jam. I just think when you're looking at expanding global liquidity and monetary supply, CVS doesn't look super interesting to me at all, man. Because again, it could drop even further. This doesn't have to be the low. This doesn't have to be the low. Yeah, it doesn't have to be. It can go further. Now, will it? Let's see. What does it have? Does it have any? It does have. Technically, there's some bullish divergence on the RSI. It wants to go higher, but again, what are you going to get out of this? A doubling? I just don't. Not very interesting to me. Let's. We already looked at ArcG. Let's skip that one. Let me see what else we got here. One second here. What's the next one in line? It looks like Hood, but I already kind of did Hood. ASPN, Brian Melcher on YouTube. ASPN. I don't know if I have that one. I'll check. If not, I can add it. And I'm sorry if I'm shitting on your stocks today, guys. I'm gonna always be honest in what I think about an investment. And if you have reasons where like you think I'm wrong, and you can ask for it again the next time, and then just literally, you know, say, hey, I think it's this. I think it's this. You made this statement. I think you're wrong about that. This is why. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with different feedback that makes us reevaluate it. Now we do have Aspen looks interesting. We'll look up the financials on this one to see how much it actually matters. You could be double topping because you're hitting the .618 fib retracement zone. So this would be the point where you reject. So from August to 2023 till up here, you went from $5 to 33. That's a huge increase in a short period of time, in a year. And now it looks like it wants to reject and go down. Could it go higher? Maybe. But what do the actual financials look like? Does this company deserve to go higher? Yeah, not super optimistic. God, Tony says I gotta go back and catch up to this. Yeah, I haven't been super positive today. I'm trying to be. I haven't been. Revenue growth, good. I mean, wow, 145% year over year. So this actually looks interesting. This might be a real company. It does look like revenue growth, though, estimates are going to flatten out. And EPS is starting to flatten out. So, and they just dumped a lot of stock. The owners just dumped a lot of stock. Shares sold 123 million. Short interest 7%. This company doesn't look like it's dying at all, but it looks. I mean, the growth was insane, and this is nice. Operating leverage, revenues going up a lot. Expenses are staying, fairly relatively within reason. Stock-based comp is 2.52%. PE is 40. Forward PE is 40. So we need to see really strong, steady growth in this company. They're in construction, Massachusetts. What kind did they do? Is a leading innovator in aerogel technology, focusing on enhancing resource efficiency and sustainability across various industries, including in energy infrastructure, building efficiency, electric vehicle safety, and lithium-ion battery performance with its headquarters. It's an interesting business model. I don't know enough even just from that description to understand what they might be doing. But it's been a great run. It could stop. If their estimates are right and they're going to be flat for the next 3 quarters to down, then you could see this thing deflate. I think that's probably the most likely scenario based on the technicals, would be to test lower. Maybe something like down to 17 or even down to 15, where, again, you have some support zones that have been previously established, or I should say resistance zones that have more recently turned into support zones. So I am going to do this. I'm going to draw a line showing that we're testing lower, at least to here, right? The 18 range. That's my thesis on this one, without knowing a ton about the actual company, just if they're right about their forward guidance being flat on revenues. I think that people are going to take their profits and run, guys. That's what happens when you make a shit ton of money in a year, and then there's other stuff that looks desirable. This thing is still up 350%. It was up over 500%. It was up over 500%. So, and that happened in way quicker time frame than what Palantir happened. So, yeah, I think people are going to get the fuck out of this one. That's my take. What else we got here? Aspen, thoughts on Redfin? Ooh, good one, Andrew. Let's take a look at that and see how we're doing. I want to see what the guidance is like on Redfin. Again, this is a company that's been brutalized by higher rates as the markets froze up. Had a good day yesterday, up 4%. Well, you can see the peak here at $100, and then hey, there's a better one to draw here. Let's get rid of this fib retracement. I think we found the bottom, so let's go ahead and switch this to a fib trend-based extension because we're going to say the pandemic was the low. We're going to say this was the high. We're going to draw it back down to here, the actual low, and then just scroll up a little bit, make sure this lines up because there's some crazy volume candles on that. All right, so I'm going to lock that real quick. Save this. So Redfin actually looks like, again, it looks like it's trying to stay above the .618. That's good. It's trying to find it as support. 1.73 billion. Let's look at the finances on it. This would theoretically, just at a glance, you would think that Redfin will do better with rates coming down and the mortgage market taking off. I would think that this would be a good play. Revenue growth year over year was only 7%. So we have to basically say this company sucks historically. The thing I don't like about Redfin, though, again, their revenue might skyrocket again, but they've never been profitable. Never. Not 1 year of profitability. 130 million lost in 2023. Before the pandemic, negative 36 million. 2021 should have been a good year. We were still seeing, housing growth and stuff wasn't bad. I mean, the markets were getting juiced and they lost 109 million. They've got debt. It's lowering, but they're diluting shares probably to pay off some of that debt. The operating expenses are ridiculous for the lack of revenue growth and negative net income. I don't know. Maybe this company gets this stuff. Maybe it turns it around, but I just don't see what's desirable about Redfin. You know what I mean? Like if they can't even do well before the housing or the rates were increased and the market was rough, what is any guarantee that they're going to do better now? They haven't done anything to fix their expenses. At least you get your SG&A better. Research and development, I get, but why like because you want to grow, you're looking towards innovation, but why can't you get your general administration and stuff down and your broader costs when you should be worried about it? I don't understand that. So I don't know. Redfin doesn't look super exciting to me, guys. Thomas says, hey, Jesse, just joining. Sorry if you already mentioned it, but in case not, for days like today, do you recommend to sit and wait or to buy insurance? I don't know. It's really up to you, man. I don't do a lot of day trading, so I'm going to sit and wait. I do think we'll get our 50 bips today. I think that'll happen at 1 o'clock Central and then at 1:30. And again, I'll probably be starting at about 12:45, guys, or 12:50. I'll start up my stream. I'll create that in a little bit here, but we can sit and look at the Fed rate decision and then wait for the Fed to talk and just catch up on market events. But yeah, I don't know. I personally don't worry too much about individual, very, very short time frame things. I try to look at big picture and what's coming down the road. So I'm not going to be looking at a short like QQQ or SQQQ move. Alex Garcia, when in reality these measures make people poor over time. What was that in regard to, Alex? Les Walker, I love Costa Rica. Not sure about raising kids there, though. Costa Rica's not bad. My wife is actually from Panama, just right on the border of Costa Rica. I mean, lately, Panama's probably seeming more free than the United States, and El Salvador definitely is, even though it's got a dictator running it. Kamawa, Jesse, please review CISS. Yeah, we can look at that. Let me do it on the financials here first. And then, since I'm here. Oh, I don't know if I could pull them up. Let me see what the actual name is. CISS. Don't have it. All right, let me make a copy and see if I can figure out what the name of this is. Wow, that's painful. This is the worst chart I've ever seen. And I've said that a bunch of times. But this is actually the worst. C3IS. Okay, I'll look at it. Not super impressed so far, though. Oh, let me go back. C3IS. I don't even know. I don't even know if I can. Oh wait, C3. I don't even know if I can find what market cap is this thing even. $12 million. This looks like shit. The quarterly revenue. Let's see. Their net income was negative 12 million off of revenue of 11 million. So they lost more than they made. Congrats. Yeah, I think I agree with sell. I agree with sell on that one. All right, here. What else we got? Tony Naguyan, Marty Cohen. Hey, everyone watching, please support Jesse with a like. Only 65 likes, almost 200 watching. I've been really depressing today, so that's probably not getting a lot of likes. That's probably why. Tony Naguyan, Bears hate Jesse. Yes, they do. Maybe, I don't know. Today I'm the bear, right? At least politically and about the future of this country, I'm the bear. Ashroff says, morning, Jesse. Quick take on CLSK and Mara as laggards. I think all these are going to do really great. I have almost $200,000 in Clean Spark options. I own Mara too. We were talking yesterday about a MicroStrategy options play. If markets get a little crushed for any reason, I might actually look at that in closer detail. But I think they're good investments personally. That's me. And then on Sunday, I'll have at 6 o'clock p.m. I'll have my miner comparison video too, and we'll talk further about miners and kind of probably go deeper diving into stuff like that. Frog Dog, thank you for these morning streams, Jesse. It's so helpful to get your insights before the market opens. Yeah, I don't know if today was the most helpful. It's just me bitching about the world falling apart, but I will try and be helpful in the future. Kamawa, Crex, yeah, we can look at that. Let me save this one real quick. I'm going to look at financials first. Crex, Creative Realities. I think we looked at this the other day. It looked pretty good. 43% revenue growth year over year. Forward PE is only 20. That's a little high. Dilution hasn't occurred really for the last 3 months. Operating expenses, okay. Let's look at their estimates. Still show growth, maybe slowing. But they did buybacks as recently as Q1 of 2022, or I should say large purchases, insider activity. 7 million shares bought, it looks like, if I'm reading this correctly. Short interest is stupid low. Institutional ownership is growing. Revenue per employee is getting better. Like, this doesn't look bad. I don't know a lot about the company, though. I like that their stock-based comp has dropped a lot as a percentage of revenue recently. That's good. It's like 0.17%. And a 20 forward PE is not an ugly number at all, really. What do these guys do again? They're in Louisville, Kentucky. Huh, awesome. You don't see a lot of software companies coming out of Louisville, at least not that I know of. Enhancing customer experiences through advanced omni-channel technology, serving a wide range of industries with design, development, and deployment of consumer experiences for high-end networks, alongside offering SaaS and support services since its inception over 15 years ago. The company has expanded. Man, I hate how crazy some of these like software company descriptions are. It's like, okay, I kind of still don't know what you're doing. But yeah, the company though, I mean, the valuation doesn't seem crazy at all. Enterprise is 56.4, market cap's 45.7. Let's look at it over here on the chart and see if the technicals. So just at a glance for this company, I mean, it seems like it's pretty cheaply valued. It seems like the valuation could go higher. Now, the stock looks like it's been smoked. So maybe that's a benefit. Maybe now is actually a good time to buy. I don't know if it's going to be asymmetric. I don't know the fundamentals of the company. Like I know Bitcoin, like I know Tesla, like I know so many other things, but I know this was a pretty long and brutal drop. And one could almost make an argument that this thing's getting ready to turn around. I do think we've seen the bottom, just if the financials continue down the estimates that they have. So let's look here and see when March 2020 was. Right over here. Yep, okay. Grab that. Grab the top. But this thing's been depressed for a very long time. Very long time. So I don't know how quick a move would be. Maybe this is something like if you make a bunch of money off of Bitcoin, Tesla, and other stuff, and this doesn't move, and you really like the company fundamentally, you start to look at investing in it. But below peak volumes, I don't know. That the chart could get some bounce. It definitely has divergence. It has bullish divergence that goes back how far? At least on the monthly, going back to 2012. And really on the weekly, going back to 2018. So yeah, this thing's been dropping a long time. I just don't know. I don't know enough about the fundamentals on this one. It does look like it was beat up. A forward PE of 20 is not a bad number. If they grow, if this company is going to grow and you know that, then it's probably a decent investment. Kamawa, the CISS or the CISS chart looks scary. Don't look at it. It's frightening as fuck, dude. I would not buy anything like this, guys. This thing went from a valuation of $2,000 a share to a dollar. A dollar. Don't buy anything like that. That's just a great way to lose. LSPD. Oh, yeah, LSPD. Let me get that one. Up 2.49% yesterday. Nothing in pre-market. Down near previous volumes. Again, this one just, they've had a lot of beats in earnings, but woof. Going from 129 down to 11. Pretty brutal. Over 90%. It's still down almost 90%. What are the fundamentals on the company, though? It's a $2 billion market cap. I'm trying to remember what this one looks like. I look at so many of these now. Lightspeed Commerce, 53% revenue growth year over year, but they don't make money. The forward P is 31, though. It's not crazy. And it looks like, I mean, net income, theoretically, what is this? Negative 35 million, revenue of 266. It almost seems like they have a valve to turn on profitability. This doesn't actually look like a horrible company. Cash flow is getting close to positive again. Operating expenses look like they're actually being managed while revenue is going up. Low short interest. This is another software company. This is Montreal, Quebec. Let's look at activity. Are people buying or selling? Or what are the insiders doing? We don't have any of that, but we do have, again, low short interest, kind of flat on institutional ownership. It looks like next couple of quarters are going to be pretty flat. Is that a cyclical thing? Let's see. Q3, Q4, Q1. Q3, Q4, Q1. It looks like Q2. Is Q2 the big bump normally? Yeah, Q2 is the bump. Not always, because this one it was down. But it looks like there's a couple of times where Q2 is the bump. But I mean, it looks like it's flattening out with revenue. If you know that their revenue is still going to be growing, and then this is an interesting play because the stock has been incredibly beat up. The market cap is $2 billion. Enterprise value is 1.3, so it's a little overvalued by that metric. But forward PE is 31. Not crazy. It's probably fairly valued by that unless they start making money. If they start making money, this is going to flip and get a lot better. Where's LSPD? There it is. So this is a really good one, guys, for the long term, like looking at it, keeping track of it, seeing whether or not it's an opportunity in the future. I'm just double checking and seeing if it's on my short list here. Yes. Okay, good. So yeah, this might be one where, again, this is interesting in the future. I still kind of like to see how it plays out, see if their guidance gets any better over the next quarter. But at least this one's kind of interesting. Kamawa, Tom Lee mentioned that markets usually tank a week after the Fed rate cuts. Next week should be interesting. Maybe. They could. They could. Again, there's so much scary shit happening right now. I mean, they could. Just think about it. We literally could have the government shutting down in 10 days. We've got a Fed rate cut, and we've got potentially a communist gaining power over the United States of America that's embedded with the World Economic Forum. So, yeah, I mean, anything can really happen right now, guys. I think one needs to be prepared for that. If the market's tanked, though, does Bitcoin still go up? I don't know. Does all the money flush into dollars right now? Maybe. It's hard to know. Ashraf, Jesse, you're the most authentic guy on YouTube doing this kind of analysis. Love it all around. Your value makes the membership fees seem laughable. Thanks, dude. I really appreciate that. Day like today, I need to hear it. Kamawa, Crex is expected to be profitable this year. Huge customer backlog and expanded into a LATAM market. What is LATAM? I don't know what that acronym means, Kamawa. Um, Let me just go back to Crex here. So up 4.81% in pre-market. And let me just go back to what that one looked like here. Just remind myself here. Yeah, so if that's the case, I mean, if that's the case, the strong backlog, forward PE at 20, this looks good too. Both these last two guys look interesting as options for purchase. I'm not as excited about them as I am with Bitcoin stuff or Hood stuff or PayPal stuff or Tesla stuff right now. But I do think I do think that looks interesting for the future. So cool. We'll keep it on the short list. I'll add that into the Discord too when we get her finalized here. Chris DeSantis, great stuff as usual. Thank you, Chris. Christopher Brown, good morning, Jesse. Any chance you could look at SST System 1? Sure. Chris DeSantis, truck driver Dodge was crazy. Nice work, FSD. Yeah, man, the fact that that person's even alive. Oh, Latin America. Sorry. I need some more coffee this morning. The chai latte is not doing it. All right, let me real quickly. So yeah, that's all interesting, man. That's and thanks for bringing that up, Maytag. But yeah, I think Crex and LSPD out of everything brought up this morning, by far the most interesting ones. Let's see what SST has to offer here. System 1. Are you going to be interesting too, System 1? Ooh, negative 36% revenue growth year over year. All right, let's look at estimates first and foremost. So revenue is not getting better, continuing to lose money. Short interest is growing near peak levels, at least going back to the beginning of 2024, or I'm sorry, the last several months. Oh, excuse me. All right, there we go. Institutional ownership is not getting better. Massive sell pressure. 19 million shares, it says in Q2 of 2022. Haven't really seen any buying since. So estimates don't look good. Revenue employee is negative. It's flat. What's stock-based comp? 3%. How many employees? 300. Shares short, 1.6 million. Says short interest, 12.73% over here. Specialty business in Los Angeles. What do these guys do? This just does not look good to me. This does not look good. It's interesting. It looks like they were able to buy back some shares or something more recently. Debt was able to go down to around that time. But again, just not a profitable company. No revenue growth in sight. Estimates don't show anything getting better. I wouldn't be interested into this one until there's something. You got to have some estimates that are at least positive for me to give a shit about this one. Kamawa says, Jesse, where do you see CleanSpark in the next month or so? Month or so is difficult. Between now and the end of the year, I think it'll hit the 30s. And I've said that before too. Let me just show. So if we get to, I believe strongly that we will hit like Jake was saying. Let's just go over to Bitcoin real quick. I'll show you some of the charts I was showing. Again, Larry Fink giving great reasons to own Bitcoin. Robert F. Kennedy talking about why Bitcoin could save us and our freedom. My buddy Cantonese Cat showing how global liquidity is expanding and what happened last time with Bitcoin. Jake talking about the bull flag, rather long bull flag, but the bull flag in Bitcoin's price action and his target of 102. My target's 92. I think these things happen over the next couple of months. And if we look at that, when Bitcoin was at its previous high, when we were peaking up here and we were looking to go higher, CleanSpark was at 24. It's only at 9 right now. And I think it could easily get to the next fib level, which is 33, which is a 255% move. And then I've got a multiplier to that, which gives me 500%. That's what I think is happening. And I will say this. I own, again, other Bitcoin-related investments. I own MicroStrategy. I own Mara. I own Bitfarms. I own some Cypher. I own these other plays that don't have a multiple to them. If for some reason markets get really stupid and crazy over the next couple of weeks from the government shutdown, from the rate reduction, from just the political bullshit in the world that we're looking at right now, I will probably look at that options play for MicroStrategy that we were talking about yesterday, because I think the opportunity there to get a multiplier in a down market is a good one. And I would probably dump, or if Hood does really great for whatever reason, I'd maybe take a little just shave a little bit off of that. And look at that MicroStrategy play, but I would liquidate or at least reduce the size of like my Mara in here. This one's 150, MicroStrategy is 52. I got 200,000 just between these two, 210 including iron. And if we go up here to Bit Farms, 310-ish thousand dollars sitting in that. I don't think I have any CleanSpark stock, do I? No, just one share to keep track of the price. So I've got a good 310,000 in Bitcoin related investments just in my main account that I could use to lever into that MicroStrategy options play. That's probably what I would end up doing, in all honesty. So that's a very interesting one to me. Let's see if I missed any X ones. Dabo said, "Good morning. Micro to Macro is live. Let's go. Hey, buddy." Alejandro says, "Quantum. Is that a stock you want me to look up, Alejandro? IONQ. Are you my Alejandro? Are you my Alejandro? Because I normally trying to avoid looking up stocks on the X stuff. Well, fuck it. Maybe eventually I'll stop doing that. But for now, I will give it to you, sir. Especially if you're my Alejandro. That's just a given. If you're the Alejandro from Visual Stocks, you get whatever you want, bro. Ionic Q. Let's see here. Let me zoom over. Pretty beat up. Definitely got some swings in it, huh? This baby likes to bounce. I should probably do this differently. Let me do a trend-based extension, and then we'll look over at the financials. Let's see. Is this March 2020? It's not. I'm going to assume, for now, we're just going to assume we found the bottom. Might not be right. We'll look at the financials in a second, but I'm just going to do what would be the right move if we found the bottom. We'll save that, and then we'll try and look this one up. It's 1.71 billion. All right. 106% revenue growth year over year. Love that. Don't like the losses, though. Don't like the ever-growing negative free cash flow. 35 million in negative free cash flow off of 11 million in revenue. So you see that revenue growth, and it gets you excited. And then when you realize they're losing is 3 times the amount that they're making, it doesn't seem as cool. You got a little bit of share dilution. You got 326 million in bonds, 41 million in cash. Not a ton of debt. Let's see what activity looks like. They sold a lot in Q4 of 2022. What was the level at? Really? In 2022, they sold here, and then the price went up here for insiders. Those people were retarded. They were fucking stupid. Institutional ownership in decline, short interest in the 20% range. Revenue growth is growing, but they're still losing money. I wouldn't touch a company like this until you think that they're starting to get closer to profitability. Just this revenue per employee is disgusting. This just isn't an interesting one. It could be an interesting one. Love the revenue growth, but can you make money with your revenue growth? Or are you always going to be losing 3 times as much as you make? So this one gets a big fuck no on Iconic. Or Ionic. Ionic Breeze. Whatever. So if you are my Alejandro, I apologize. I'm giving you a fuck no on this one. Dominic Tam, could you take a look at NVIDIA? You're on X, but I will do that for you, sir. Yes, that is my Alejandro. Sorry for shitting on yours, man. Using your own application to shit on your stock. I apologize. All right, let me see. What was the other one again? I'm just in a special mood today, guys. All right, NVIDIA. Oh, yeah, NVIDIA. Let's do that. Hey, Vic, thank you for joining, man. Everybody that joins as a member, I appreciate it. I've noticed my revenues for ads are going down. I don't know what that is from. A lot of the views and stuff are still good, but the revenue, again, I get demonetized a lot, so a membership is appreciated. NVIDIA down 0.5%. I don't know. I'm starting to think that this is going to roll over again. We'll see what happens with markets today. We'll see what happens with the Fed rate cut. Like somebody said earlier, Tom Lee said the first week or two or a week and a half, Could be downward price action. We know that the end of September is normally bearish. Everybody knows that, which makes me think maybe it isn't going to be. But right now, with so much uncertainty and fear politically, I don't know, man. I could believe there's downside movement. And again, I've kind of given you my play. I would look at stacking some MicroStrategy with multiple options play because I think that's just like that's probably a fun move, an easy 2x plus on that move. Which again, MicroStrategy is a pretty safe bet. It's first mover, strongest public Bitcoin position of anybody. It looks like we've been live for a while, so I am going to switch over here, guys, real quickly. I do want to switch over to live and see how the market's playing out just across the board here. So, since we've been live for about 9 minutes, looks like lots of flat today. Flat to down, nothing, no real movement. This is not surprising, pretty much like I've said. So that's probably good enough there. Let me check. I do want to check a couple other things. I want to look at the dollar. I want to look at oil, just a few things again, just to see how they're moving before we go back to some of those other requests. Dollar is continuing its rollover. That's good. Getting ready to break under the 200 on the weekly. I love that. I hope that happens. Oil, please go down. Still kind of about where it is. If anything, it's bouncing just a little bit. I want to see what Tesla's like in actual, because I think that pre-market might be, nothing too crazy. Let me go back to your guys' here. Not seeing anything too. Maytag says Tesla's strong at open, up 1.5%. I mean, it was. Let me see here. Miner Pro says, look at Iron growing faster than CleanSpark, more efficient than CleanSpark. Free cash flow positive last month. Yeah, but if you look though, I'd say the growth. I'd say the growth for CleanSpark is going to be greater, and there's a longer track record on CleanSpark's awesomeness. And plus, they have HPC, which could be a benefit, or it could be not so good. But you're right. I did start a position in Iron more recently here. Alejandro, yes, thank you, Jesse. Vic C became a member level starter pack new. Thank you, Vic. Frank Breezy, thoughts on RRGB, aka Red Robin. We can take a look. David Chapinda says, hey, Jesse, today Bitcoin up or down? Your thoughts? Sorry, just tuning in. I'm not sure, man. I don't know what's going to happen with the rate cut. I think we get to 50 bips. We really need to see what Jerome Powell is going to say. His words are going to be incredibly crucial on how the market perceives this. But I also think there's a ton of political risk for people coming in late. We got California threatening to arrest people for memes now with the new bill that was passed by Gavin Newsom, where he actually used a reference to Elon Musk in it, as if Elon Musk should be arrested. So, and then we've had Hillary Clinton already talking about, arresting, how people should be arrested. There's just so much rhetoric and craziness right now. I feel like we're turning into a communist state. And if investors are feeling that way, especially rich billionaires, it's going to be worrisome in the markets, right? If they're getting scared about that kind of stuff, probably not a good sign for the market direction. So we really need to see where things are going. I think politically, are we going to shut down on 10-1 in a week and a half? There's so much craziness right now. It's going to be very, very definitive on how things are going. Red Robin. All right, let's take a look here. What was it? RRGB. All right, let me get it up. RRGB. Let me save this one here. Definitely had its drop. 58 million market cap. Looks like it's been a bleeder for a while, huh? Woof. Not a great looking chart at all. Let's look at the finances of the company. Is it growing or is it dying? My guess is it's dying. Yeah. It's completely flat. Negative net incomes, $9 million in losses in a quarter off of $300 million in revenue. Hasn't really made any money in a very long time. Hasn't made money since 2017. Debt levels got a little bit better. They had to inflate the stock a little bit from 2018 to 22, but it looks like that's stabilized. Operating expenses have stabilized. They're probably just in shutdown mode, closing businesses that aren't doing well. They did buy, if we look at stock here, you can see where insiders were buying the stock in 2022 and 2023, thinking good things are happening, but then they started selling in Q2 of 2024. What do estimates look like? More of the same. What's the PE on this one? Forward is nothing because they don't make money. I wouldn't own this. This looks like trash to me. Unless, yeah, it's trash. David Chapinda. Hey, Jesse, today Bitcoin up or down? Peter Gregory. Hey, Jesse, can you please check Etsy? Sure. I'll check it here first. Yeah, I don't like companies that literally aren't going anywhere and that are losing money. It's just not a good look. Especially in like the food industry, it's tight margins, not really any good growth there. If you're not making money and you're not growing in the food industry, you're kind of dying from a stock perspective. Let's see here. Short interest, 14%. It looks like shares bought on Q1 of 2024. It looks like some insiders buying, lots of selling though in 2020, 2021, 2022. Institutional ownership is flat. Revenue growth is growing, and they are positive in income. We don't hate that. Let's go to a summary here. But it's 3% revenue growth with a 14 forward PE. This thing could be cut down to a 9 PE. It could drop like 30, 40% and be fairly valued with this growth rate. More debt than assets. They're buying back their shares, but I don't know if there's a point in doing that. It just doesn't look like it's a growing company recently. It's very much started to stabilize from really 2021 to 2023. Really exciting though. If you were in 2021, if you were looking at this company when it was still ramping, like up over here, like Q4 2020, you were probably really excited about Etsy. But that was 617 million, and today we have 647. So it doesn't look like an interesting stock from that standpoint. So I'd say it's pretty fairly valued. My take. PayPal's up a bit. Cool. Let's see here. Let me just jump over to this, see what we're looking at. I'll just refresh. This can be a little delayed. I just think the heat maps, there's so much data they're trying to crunch. It doesn't really go anywhere. Actually, maybe I'll just pull up PayPal. 1 second here, guys. PayPal. Nope, down 0.25. Short-lived. Again, maybe the market trades down today. Not surprising at all. Let's see here. Dominic, thank you for your insight, Jesse. Always looking forward to your foresights in the market. Keep it up. Bill Dimmers, newbie BFLY. Hey, Bill. Yeah, I can take a look. Eventually in the future here, if I don't get a membership like subscriptions in X, I might not end up taking stock requests on X. But for now, I'm going to do it. BFLY. Nope, I didn't type that right, but I still don't think I have it anyway, so let's just make a copy. BFLY. Not sure if I missed anybody, let me know, guys. Oh. Butterfly Network, is that the one? Well, it looks like it's been bouncing. Not sure what the name is, kind of an interesting name. Let me save it. I don't really have a lot I can do with this one. It's like a fib-based retracement, really. But let me go over here. Let me look at what finance is. BFLY. Revenue growth 16%, not bad. Net income's negative though. So the last quarter, negative 15 million off of 21 million in revenue. Not a great look. Their cash position is wearing down. Their free cash flow has gotten better. They really need to make money. They're doing share dilution. It's not super crazy. Medical devices and Connecticut. Okay. Let's look at activity. So there are insiders buying stock. Not crazy amounts. In thousands. Oh, these are thousands. So 4,000. Yeah, so not crazy amounts being bought up. Let's look at estimates. Not really growing a lot. So we're looking at by Q1 of 2025, 20 million in revenue. We had almost 20 million in revenue in Q3 of 2022. We had almost 19 million in Q4 of 2021. So this company doesn't appear to be growing anymore. The EPS is pretty flat. Um, it's a $410 million company that isn't making money yet. If they can turn the lever on and making money, there's a chance this will do all right. Maybe that's why the stock's ticking up a little bit. But personally, I don't know. The valuation doesn't seem too crazy with the fact that they are not growing revenues and are not making money. So I'd say, yeah, not super exciting on this one. Things can change, but not super exciting. I might have missed a few comments too. I'm sorry if that happened. Let me look up here. Sir, can you check mRNA? Yeah, I can do that, Haywood. Needs 55 says if market goes down, great opportunity to top up and buy. I agree. As long as we don't turn into a communist dictatorship, that could fuck us. Let me do mRNA real quick here. If I missed any more, guys, let me know. But let me pull up mRNA. I'll just glance. How do I not have that in my chart list? Swear to God, I thought I had that. Let me, maybe I accidentally deleted it. mRNA. I find it so hard that I wouldn't have that. Moderna. Drug companies. Yay. So this one has went from 2021 from $500 down to 63. If Kamala Harris gets elected, she'll probably be putting all kinds of injections in us. So maybe this one will do better in that environment. Let me, and again, I'll try and take some happy pills before the Fed rate decision. So if we say this is the bottom, it could roll a lot to go to the top. Like you could make a lot of money off of this theoretically. Let's look at what they're forecasting for. Forecasting for, oh, I guess I should get on the tab. Whoa, I don't have estimates in here. Not sure why, Alejandro, if you're here. Short interest, 7%. Looks like insiders have really been selling since, yeah, really just selling. They were taking profits during the pandemic. Isn't that great of them? Shooting people up, taking profits. Estimates for EPS are still negative. Not sure why we're not getting revenue numbers. I don't know. If the world goes to shit, maybe the government starts shooting us up with all kinds of things to try and lower the population of the Earth so that they can meet the goals of the World Economic Forum. Then maybe this is a play. But their revenues have collapsed, utterly collapsed, from the $7 billion in Q4 2021. And unless the government decides to create another pandemic, I don't know if this is going to be a good investment, honestly. But if you think they're going to create another pandemic and that mRNA is going to benefit from it, then that might be a good opportunity for you. Thank you, Jesse. You're a beast. Thanks, Frank. Alfredo Hernandez says, couldn't a 50 bip rate cut be viewed as a negative by the market? I don't think so. I mean, maybe. Again, there's so much uncertainty politically right now, and then the government's probably going to shut down on October 1st. So short term, yes, probably. But the actual economic data doesn't look like it's horrific right now. It doesn't. And we know global liquidity is going to increase. The money printer is going to go burr. I think it's really how Jerome Powell frames it. Also, can you take a look at VFC? I think it's finally turning positive in the past couple of months. Sure. Let's look at it over here and see what it is. VFC. VFC, so VF Corp, I'm assuming you're talking about. Not sure what you mean by turning positive. Revenues are flat. EPS, meh. They've been doing a lot of buybacks. Somebody's buying stock. Somebody's buying lots of stock here. No institutional ownership. That's interesting. Short interest is in decline. Revenue per employees went up. Stock-based comp is 0.77, not a crazy number. Seems to be very cyclical, the business they're in. What is it? Apparel and manufacturing. That makes sense. These normally run at a very low multiple. Forward P is 25. I would actually say that's rich for a company losing money. I could see it get cut in half. So if you're talking about the stock was getting a little bit of a bounce, I don't think it deserves it based upon what we're seeing in the company right now. Up 6.74% today, $7.5 billion company. I mean, I can tell you retail and apparel and related things do not do well. And this is a horrible, like this is a head and shoulder kind of roll over with a measured move. It went down really far. It went from $100, 100 plus the share down to 11. One would think that this is done dropping, but when you look at the financials, I don't see why it would. It seems like this thing could still go lower. Net income has been getting worse. $259 million in losses off of $2 billion, not even $2 billion in revenue. I don't know. This company would have to turn it around quite a bit to get interesting. It's out of Denver. I already don't like it. Actually, I want to like Denver. I'm just being very political today. All right. So I don't know. I don't know, man. This doesn't look like an exciting opportunity. First off, apparel, don't love that right now in this current environment, especially if you're worried about downside risk. And secondly, the valuation seems a little bit rich. And even though it's dropped 90%, you'd think it would be doing better, but you think it would go up, but it doesn't have to. Livongo, Live and Go. Lulu overvalued using plastic, nylon, polyester for gym suits. Very fashionable and great engineering on their fabrics and designs. Yeah, I don't know if I love Lulu either. I do own some of it. Martin Pilda, or I shouldn't say the stock, close. Can you check CCL? With lowering of rates and debt load should decrease, and they should get back to profitability. Stock is up about 20% in the past month with rate cut expected. CCL, sure. That's Carnival Cruise Line. Yeah, Carnival. Okay. I like what's happened with net income. It does look like it's shaping up in the right direction, especially as bad as it was after the pandemic. These guys just got fucking destroyed. So we could say, like, are they going to normalize? Will they get to $2 billion a year? If the economy doesn't fall apart, yeah, that's probably what it is. Their revenue is back up there. It's just a matter of making profits again. Its valuation is a forward PE of 11 with 18% revenue growth. So this thing seems like it could do all right. Again, their cash position really got whittled away. Their debt went up a lot. They had to do with a lot of dilution just to be able to manage their way through all of that bullshit. But yeah, wow. And they sold hard in Q4 of 2020. Insiders just got the fuck out. Probably thought the world was coming to an end. Institutional ownership is creeping up again. Short interest is really low. This seems like, I mean, that operating leverage looks good. I would argue that Carnival actually looks interesting. It looks interesting. It's got a $23 billion market cap on a $52 billion enterprise valuation. As long as you think Carnival isn't going away and the government isn't going to produce any more pandemics to try and gain authoritarian control over their country by creating a paper ballot system that makes it to where they can fraudulently steal elections and get practice at locking people down in their homes in case they don't comply. If you don't think that's coming, then this looks pretty interesting. Again, I'll take my happy pills, I promise, guys. Yeah, it's already done a hell of a bounce, really, since October 2022. It went from, $6 and change to $18. Could go higher though. I would say a push up to what makes the most sense here. I mean, kind of we're near that resistance zone right now, if you look at it. Oh wow, this is the way back here. So I got to do monthly just to be able to look. We're kind of hitting resistance right now, but we could creep up, I would say, and maybe even get all the way up to like 28. But yeah, we really got to figure out where the world is headed in the future for everything's sake. I think, guys, I'm probably going to call it here. It's 9. It's been about 2 hours. I'll do more of this. Let me just scan through here to see if there's anything else crazy we need to go over. Nino was asking for Rocket Lab. With Rocket Lab, I don't know. I can show you the financials on it real quick before we cut and run. So RKLOB, I know people like these are like the cool names from retail. It does have revenue growth. They do have launches going up. Here's the problem though. Their launches, they made $106 million in revenue in Q2 and they lost 41 million. So they're growing and they do have their launches are kind of flat. Gross profit per launch is not getting much better. And their biggest competitor is SpaceX, who has Starship. They're going to destroy Rocket Labs. None of these rocket companies are going to survive, I don't think. If you look at insiders, they're selling the shit out of their stock. Short interest is in almost 20% range, 18.6. Institutional is not getting better. Sure, profits are going up for these guys, but it's not helping their ability to make any money whatsoever. Revenue by segment, you can see like space systems, you can see revenues growing and why, and I love all that stuff. I love the charting in here. Alejandro's great about that. But I don't like companies that are competing against SpaceX, the company that puts 90% of the payload mass to orbit for the entire Earth. I wouldn't, yeah, yeah. So these guys aren't going to be profitable compared to SpaceX. They're just not going to be. If they live another 5 years, I'll be impressed. I personally wouldn't be buying the stock. Sorry if you own a lot of it and you like the company, but I just wouldn't. Boeing, wonder if this will be a stock to look at now. Boeing's not a stock to look at. Always have issues, but it has a newer It does have a new CEO. All right, so let's look at Boeing real quick. We'll do that too, right? Just so I can shit on the company. I mean, they've got two astronauts that are still stranded in space, but let's pretend like that they're not stranded until February and having to get SpaceX to bring them back to Earth. You do have insiders buying the stock. I suppose that's good. They've been doing that though since 2019. And I would say the track record since then, as far as plane crashes and failed space programs, has not gotten much better. They do have a lot of connections. Revenue's growing. They say EPS is going up. We'll see. Will the new CEO prove himself? I don't know. The one good thing is the revenue versus operating expenses is pretty good and has been for a while. Still diluting their shareholders. Not great for a company this large. All the R&D is just going to be wasted money. $1 billion in R&D last quarter. That's just waste to me. Because they're going to die. They can't compete against SpaceX. Boeing is like just a failed company. And again, I think the new CEO is better. At least he understands how planes get in the air. That's probably better. But I don't have a lot of hope. Unless you have, I could just be overly pessimistic. This is a day where I seem to be that way. All right, let's see what else we got. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like 37 forward PE seems rich. Seems like it should drop. How can we support you via X? You can't. The X doesn't give a way for you to support me. I've had an application for getting subscriptions for over 14, 15 months. I've tagged Lindy Accarino and X Premium Support and talked to them. And they just keep saying, yeah, we can't tell you. And we have no idea when. But maybe someday. Right now, you can do it on YouTube. And soon you'll be able to do it on Discord. Because I'm going to do a Discord so I can become more disattached from YouTube. Because I don't trust the platform. YouTube, as I'd rather the 20 to 30% membership fees go to X. You know what's great about X? If they ever give me access, I believe the subscription fees are much, much lower. Unless people subscribe via iOS. Apple takes like 30% cuts for shit all the time. So I think you get fucked on that. So subscriptions, that's why I want the Discord server, because the Discord server, I can control some of that. I can keep my fees down to 25%. On YouTube, on average, they're like 50 to 60% of fees. And X is way better than that. From advertising revenue, X takes 3% for the first 55,000. But memberships still get hit because of the iOS bullshit. So since 2/3 of the people that would be members use iOS, I definitely want to get on Discord and have people sign up via the desktop so that they can't rape me. Because it's almost pointless. I mean, you just give all the money away to Apple and Google. John Frank, hey Jesse, what do you think about GLW Corning? Apparently they have an edge in related cables. Remind me later. The market recap today, we can look it up. What's your opinion on Vale, a commodities producer? I don't know. I know they do a lot of. I know they're big in South America. I haven't looked at that in a while. Probably need to reevaluate. Let's talk about it in the market recap this afternoon. Rich Portney, SMCI, please. Huge fan. Again, all the other stock requests, guys. I think I'll probably call it now. How much would the Discord be? I don't know. Probably like a flat fee of $5, and then maybe tiers where people can get some cool dank memes for higher amounts, like the alpha males. Probably do something like starter pack and then alpha male and female, and then also the whales. But the top two probably won't get anything special for now. It'll just be supporting me. And then I'd probably do like $5 on the other one, and then I'd drop the fee on YouTube down to $1. And if I ever get one on X, I'd probably make it $1 too, just to filter out the trash and make it to where members are the only people on those asking questions. So that would probably be it. All right, guys, I think I'm done. I've done it for a couple hours now. I'm gonna go take my happy meds, and then I will meet you guys probably about 12:50 for the Fed rate decision, and then we'll await. We'll talk for a while and see how the markets have played out. Let me look real quickly here at the stock heat map. How are things moving? Let's see here. Again, pretty flat to down. Looks like technology services, fine. Yeah, nothing really happening today, guys. Tesla's up a little bit. Nothing crazy today. Nothing super interesting today. Let me actually flip to my watch list and then sort this now that we're in open market by percentages and just see where things are sitting. So it looks like VIX is up. Hang Seng is up. DLO's up. SoFi's up. Cypher, Starbucks, Tesla, 0.62%. Very little up today, though, guys. If we scroll down here, shitcoin's getting wrecked. Yeah, not a lot doing really well. Kind of boring. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Let's. I'm not gonna play any videos. I think I'm just gonna end it. So we'll talk to you guys later. See you at about 12:50. Take it easy. Until then, peace out, guys. Love you.